You know, looking back, it's hard to believe how one Thanksgiving could turn my whole world upside down. I'm Sarah Thompson, 22 years old at the time, just a regular girl from suburban Chicago, trying to find my place in the world. Our family was supposed to go on this incredible trip to Hawaii, sun, sand, and a big family adventure. But what happened at that airport gate in November 2024 changed everything. This is my story, straight from the heart, like I'm sitting across from you, spilling every detail of the joy, the betrayal, and the lessons that still linger. It all started in April, when the air was crisp and the tulips were just poking through the soil. Our house was your typical suburban setup. 2 stories, a white picket fence, a backyard where we'd grill burgers in the summer. My dad, John, was the life of the party. At 48, he had this rugged charm, salt and pepper hair, a booming laugh, and a knack for making you believe anything was possible. He worked as a sales manager at a car dealership, always closing deals, always chasing the next big thing. "Sarah, life's about taking risks," he'd tell me, winking like he knew some grand secret. My mom, Emily, was his opposite in the best way. She was 46, a nurse at St. Mary's Hospital, with kind eyes and a practical streak that kept our family on track. My little brother, Michael, was 16, all elbows and knees, obsessed with video games and dreaming of going pro in esports. Then, there was Gran, my Grandma Margaret, 78, who'd lived with us since Grandpa died 5 years back. She was tiny, with white hair in a bun and a smile that could warm the coldest day. Gran was our glue, always baking pies or telling stories about her youth. One evening, I came home from my graphic design job. Nothing fancy, just designing logos for small businesses, and found Dad and Gran at the kitchen table, papers scattered between them. The air smelled like apple pie, Gran's specialty. Dad's eyes were lit up, that spark he got when he was onto something big. "Sarah, grab a seat. We've got something huge to tell you." I slid into a chair, snagging a slice of pie. "What's up? You two look like you're planning a heist." Gran laughed, her glasses slipping down her nose. "Not quite, dear. Your father and I have been talking about family, about making memories. I've got some savings tucked away, and I want to use it for something special. A trip for all of us to Hawaii over Thanksgiving. What do you think?" My jaw dropped. Hawaii? We'd never done anything like that. Our vacations were usually road trips to Wisconsin or visiting cousins in Ohio. "Gran, that's your money. Are you sure?" She patted my hand, her fingers warm and soft. "Positive, Sarah. At my age, what's money for if not to make my family happy? Your grandpa and I always wanted to travel, but life got in the way. Work, kids, bills. I don't want that regret for you all." Dad leaned in, his voice smooth as ever. "Gran's offering $20,000 from her savings. Flights, a beachfront condo in Maui, snorkeling, a luau, the whole deal. It's gonna be the trip of a lifetime." Mom walked in, still in her scrubs, looking tired from a long shift. "What's all this excitement about?" Dad pulled her into a hug. "Emily, babe, Gran's treating us to Hawaii for Thanksgiving. Can you believe it?" Mom's eyes widened, then narrowed. "Mom, that's so generous, but $20,000? That's a lot. We can't take advantage like that." Gran waved her off. "Nonsense. I've got enough left for my needs. This is for us, for memories. John's already looking into the details, aren't you?" Dad nodded, pulling out his phone. "Got some brochures right here. Nonstop flights from O'Hare, a condo with an ocean view, even surfing lessons for Michael." Michael, who'd just wandered upstairs from his gaming setup in the basement, perked up. "Surfing? Like actual waves? Dude, I'm in." We all laughed, and just like that, the idea took root. Mom was cautious, but warming to it, already mentally packing. I was thrilled, imagining palm trees and sunsets. But deep down, a tiny knot of doubt formed. Dad's enthusiasm felt intense, almost forced. I'd seen him like this before, when he was pushing a big sale or hiding stress. Over the next few months, the trip became our family's obsession. Dad took charge of planning, which made sense. He was the dealmaker. He'd come home with printouts of itineraries, showing us photos of turquoise waters and volcanic trails. "Check this out," he'd say, spreading papers on the dining table. 3-bedroom condo, right on Kaanapali Beach. And look at this luau. Authentic Hawaiian with hula dancers and fire twirlers. Gran would beam, sipping her tea. "That sounds wonderful, John. Just make sure it's all set." He'd wink. "Don't worry, Ma. I've got it handled." Mom started making lists. Passports, swimsuits, sunscreen, Gran's medications. Michael watched surfing videos online, begging for a board. I designed custom t-shirts for us. Thompson Ohana Adventure 2024 with hibiscus flowers. It was fun, a way to feel part of it. Gran gave Dad the check in May, $20,000, handed over with a smile and a warning. "Use it wisely, son." But as summer turned to fall, I started noticing things. Dad was on his phone more, taking calls outside. One night, I overheard him in the garage, his voice low and tense. "I just need a few more weeks. The money's coming, I swear." When I asked about it, he brushed it off. "Work stuff, Sarah. Just a tough client. Focus on the trip, okay?" I tried to let it go, but the knot in my stomach grew. Gran seemed fine, though. We'd have tea in the afternoons, and she'd tell me stories about Dad as a kid, how he'd always been a dreamer, charming his way out of trouble. "This trip means so much to him," she'd say. "He wants to make us proud." By November, excitement was at a fever pitch. The leaves had fallen, and Chicago's chill made Hawaii sound like paradise. We had our Thanksgiving dinner at home on Wednesday. Turkey, stuffing, Gran's pumpkin pie. Dad raised a glass. To family and to the adventure of a lifetime. We cheered, even Mom, who was finally all in. Gran's eyes shone. "I want pictures, lots of them, every moment." That night, we packed. Michael grumbled about leaving his Xbox. "What if I miss a tournament?" Mom rolled her eyes. "You'll survive." I helped Gran fold her shawl, noticing how frail she seemed. "You excited, Gran?" "More than you know, dear. This feels like a second chance." Thursday dawned cold and gray. We piled into the minivan at 5 a.m., suitcases crammed, everyone yawning but buzzing. Dad drove, humming to classic rock. "Here we go, folks. Aloha awaits." The drive to O'Hare was quiet, the city still asleep. Michael dozed, Mom chatted with Gran about tropical fruits, and I stared out the window, that doubt still nagging. Dad's knuckles were white on the wheel, his jaw tight. At the airport, it was chaos. Holiday travelers, long lines, the smell of coffee and bagels. We checked our bags, Dad handing over the confirmations. The agent typed, frowned, then smiled. "All good. Bags are checked through to Honolulu." We grabbed breakfast burritos and headed through security. Gran set off the scanner. "These old bones," she joked. Finally, we reached gate B12. Our flight was in 45 minutes. We found seats by the window, watching planes take off. Michael played games on his phone. Mom read a magazine. Gran watched people, commenting on their outfits. Dad paced, checking his watch. "I'm grabbing a coffee," he said suddenly. "Anyone want anything?" "Latte," I called. He nodded. "Back in a sec." Minutes passed. 10, 20. Boarding started, first class, then priority. Our group was next. Mom dialed Dad's phone. Voicemail. "Where is he?" she muttered. Gran shifted. "Maybe the line's long." Michael ran to the shops, calling Dad's name. Nothing. The gate agent announced our group. People boarded. Still no Dad. Panic set in. Something's wrong, I said. Mom flagged the agent. My husband's missing. Can you page him? John Thompson, please report to gate B12. No response. The line thinned. Final call. The door closed. The plane left without us. My phone buzzed. A text from Dad. I'm so sorry. I couldn't do it. The money's gone. Tell Gran I love her. Forgive me. I froze. Gone? I showed Mom. She gasped, tears welling. Gran clutched her chest. What? Money? We rushed to the counter. Our flight left, Mom said, voice shaking. And my husband. He's gone. The supervisor checked. These tickets weren't paid for. The card was declined weeks ago. You weren't cleared to board. The world spun. $20,000, grand savings for fake tickets. We called the hotel, no reservation. The luau, never booked. Airport police took our statements. Dad's text was evidence. Possible fraud, they said. We'll look for him. The cab ride home was silent. Thanksgiving was cold leftovers, tears instead of laughter. Gran stared at nothing. My own son. Weeks later, we learned the truth. Dad had a gambling addiction, poker, online bets. He owed $50,000 to loan sharks. Gran's money went to them, not the trip. The itineraries were forged, printed at his office. He called months later from Vegas, sobbing. I thought I could win it back. I didn't want to hurt you. Mom filed for divorce. Michael buried himself in games. I moved out, started therapy. Gran passed the next year, her heart broken. Trust wisely, Sarah, she whispered before she went. That gate taught me family can betray you, but also that you can rebuild. Cherish the real ones. They're all that matters.